What's up, my G's? Just wrapped up a hectic weekend of World Cup racing, or World Cup spectating. Was in LeoGang to watch the EDR and downhill World Cups, and yeah, right now we're somewhere in between LeoGang and Innsbruck, and we're gonna break it down for you guys. This weekly show is gonna be mainly World Cup focused. Got a few points to touch on, did some interviews with some riders, and yeah, just want to share some takeaways from being there in person. It's a different ball game watching those guys and girls do what they do trackside versus watching on TV. And World Cup downhill is kind of in an interesting place right now. So the first thing we got to talk about is the format as a whole. Watching this Q1, Q2 thing in person was so gnarly, especially at this race. The times were so tight and some big names missed the cut. And I mean, that's a huge bummer for the riders themselves, but as a fan, I just missed seeing some of my favorite riders, or just riders that I want to see in the mix in the race. And I think even more than a fan's perspective, it's the sponsors that matter. And if they're paying good money for, you know, certain riders to be in the mix, some big names, you know, and they're not getting any TV time, I see that really affecting the sponsors' decisions going forward. And I don't think it's really the rider's fault. It's just the reality of the format. It's so gnarly. Like one mistake, one mechanical, like one minor mistake can put you back, you know, a second and you don't make the cut. So I just think it doesn't really complement where the sport is at right now. And it's going to result in sponsors being, I think, a little less inclined to lean into sponsorship, because there's just a realistic chance that their top guys could not make the finals. You know, like Richie is a great example. I would love to see Richie race, and he got 5th at the first round, and now he's gone 2 weekends without qualifying. So I get trying to tighten the field, but I think going down to 30 is just way too extreme. I think the fans lose out seeing their favorite riders, and ultimately I think it's gonna affect sponsorship down the road. So I talked to Aaron, Gwyn, and Dylan Maples about their weekend and primarily about the Q2 experience. So I'll let those interviews play now.
Tough.
When I saw you come across the line, I'm like, dude, he's in. Did it feel like you were in?
I don't know. Like, I knew it was 4th, and like I knew there was whatever 9 more guys to go.
Yeah.
But like, dude, it's so tough. So sucks.
Does it feel like it's so much faster than this year than in the past?
It's just like track to track.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like, I've never done that good here. Like, I've never even made a final in.
Well, still haven't.
Yeah. So we're still on track with that. But like, just the new system, I think, just creates so much more like, I don't know, uncertainty. Before, like, quali, I could cruise quali, and I'm like, whatever, middle of the whatever that. Like, so like I'm like whatever quali 30th, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, like, and then turn it up for the next one. But now it's like you have to be on in Q1, and then if you're not, you have to be like
super fucking on Q2.
Even more, because you have whatever 100 guys sending.
But yeah. So is the mindset weird going in? Like, do you go in with kind of like a, I gotta make it?
Like, that's what I went into Luganville with, and then I died.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, we still gotta get down. Yeah, like push where I can and chill where I need to just make it through. And then like that's kind of what I did, and then wasn't fast enough, so then go again and push a bit more, but still like the same thing. Like, there's such like a fine line.
Yeah. What do you make of the race day?
Yeah, crazy race day, man. Just like we expected. It was pretty much a copy of qualifying, I think. At least for me, I think I finished 19th. I was 3 seconds off the win, which is insane. But yeah, good weekend overall, man. Like, just good to be back at the World Cups. Haven't done many of these the last 3 years, so it's nice to kind of get back in the swing of things, and feeling pretty good. Like, definitely felt better every day from last weekend in France and this weekend here. Like, a little better every time I'm on the bike, but just finding that intensity, man, it's so tight now. So if you mess a couple things up, which I did today, and it's, you know, a second or two, and it's like 10, 15 spots. So on one hand, like, I haven't been 3 seconds off the lead in quite a while, since before I kind of started getting hurt. Seconds usually is a podium, but not this weekend. So yeah. But yeah, overall it's good, man. I'm definitely excited. We got 3 weeks now. I'm gonna miss Val d'Isole. So I'm just gonna go home and train. Like, we've been so busy leading up to this race, so it'd be honestly pretty nice to have a few weeks to just like really hammer in the gym and get some riding in and kind of get ready for the next block of World Cups when we come back.
Sweet. And that intensity is like, that's something you can work on at home? And if so, how do you do that?
I don't know that I really work on the intensity at home. I think it just comes through doing these races. Like, when you get here and you see it and you kind of realize, like, okay, like where the time is at and like where to push and whatever. So when you get home, I don't practice it too much because it's kind of sketchy to do that at home, especially on just like a random track that's not turned in like a race course. But for me, it's just like, making some gains, like just getting comfortable riding more. I still haven't been on the pedal bike like that much the last few months. So yeah, just getting those days in, getting the gym hours in, and the intervals, like all the things that just kind of add up to tenths on the clock when you get to the races. So yeah, stoked to be in touch and kind of headed in the right direction. My whole goal was to like be kind of competing for podiums around the halfway point of the year, which is kind of another couple months away. So honestly, I mean, I think I was only maybe a second and a half off of that today, so we're already close. It's just a lot of guys are also close.
I mean, you've been in a lot of stressful race run situations. How do these Q2 races stack up against like the rest of your career? Yeah,
qualifying day is insane now, man. Like, yeah, I mean, it's the same for everybody, but I wouldn't say I enjoy it. They're definitely stressful days. I really wanted to get out of Q1 yesterday because I felt like it was going to set me up better for today. Like, if you can get out of Q1, you avoid having to put the effort in for another full-blown race run. You also have the time to like go up and walk the track and kind of like prepare better for today. But when you do Q2, it's like, dude, you're just emptying the tank again, like on the energy, and like throwing down a qualifier to try to get in, and then you're done late, and then I don't get to walk the track, and you kind of miss out on those little details for race days that you usually want. So I'm definitely somebody that usually builds pretty slow through the weekend and just puts everything into the race run. So having to be up to pace like straight away on qualifying day and be hammering, that was something a little hard for me today, was like trying to like elevate again. For the doing fast runs, you're not able to like slow down and look at lines and kind of be a little more methodical like I usually am. So yeah, it's just, you gotta adapt. Everybody's doing the same thing, man. So yeah, I'll figure it out.
So I'll get some more interviews at the next World Cup in Val d'Isole to get some more rider takes on the whole deal. But I just think going to a 40 rider field, 30 in Q1, 10 in Q2, I think it's just a healthier move for the sport overall. But besides that, really stoked to see Dakota Norton back after an incredible comeback this offseason from a fairly devastating injury, and to see him riding out there like what it do and putting down a run that almost got him into the finals on his first race back is just incredible. And I had an interview with him talking about his weekend, his comeback, and a bit of bike setup shit too.
Almost.
Oh, dude.
I know. I dropped the brake on the motorway.
Just a little. Well, it matters with these.
I'm stoked. Like,
yeah, you got to be stoked, right?
No, dude, I can't. Like I said, I can't fucking run right now. If you wanted me to fucking sprint to the SR Sunsport, I literally could not. Couldn't have slowed down a little bit.
That a tailwind, so I was alright. You went far off, dude.
No, not
you should
bad.
Be so fucking proud.
I'm really happy.
Dude,
thanks, man.
Good shit.
Yeah, I came down, I was like, that was it.
Yeah.
And dude, that was like a top 10 semi run last year.
That was the best run I've done for 2 years probably. That was better than last week's top 10.
Yeah.
So you need like the best run of your life to make it through in Q2.
Literally. It's fucked.
The level, like, the speed in Q2 is almost faster than Q1.
Because everyone is like
warmed up.
It's
once you start running, they have no fucking chance.
Oh, I think it's over for these ones.
I guess coming back, have you had to go softer on settings, or did you just jump on this thing?
Dude, yeah, that's a funny thing. Yeah, I did. I came back. I did 2 days with it soft. It was beautiful. and then started to run into the limitations of the architecture of the suspension again, you know, right? When you get like too far out of the way, then you start fighting some things. And we go here and they just say, my engineer goes to me, she says, you know I love fast rebound and I like compression, but you need to spring up. So they literally just stuck me on a spring higher than I was on all last year. I have more air in my fork for this race run than I did all of last year. Just like, here you go, dude, haul, start hauling the mail.
Was that the ticket? Did it work?
Yeah, actually, like I came down after Q1 and I was like, we need to go sit stiffer. If no one's told you yet, the sport has took a huge leap this year and everyone's going really fast. Like that run would have easily been a top 10 semi last year and now I'm not even in the final. But yeah, because we're pushing the pace, the suspension has to get a lot stiffer, and I went even stiffer after Q1.
Your whole high bar concept here. Have you gone up in reach?
Yes.
And up in bars?
Yeah, so we did the calculation, and I think it's for like every 5 mil I go up, I lose like 2 mil roughly. Essentially, for my bike to ride the same as a 480 reach bike, which would be traditional for my size, the bike has now gone to 494 millimeters in reach.
And have you done anything to the back end?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm running a quite stiff rear shock just because of the fact that my weight is more over the rear of the bike.
The people that watch my videos are all worked up about chainstay length. Have you changed that at all? Have you played with it? What's your...
I'm at 460, I believe, at the moment, which is quite long. But our bike at SAG actually gets a bit shorter.
Oh, okay.
Not a whole lot, maybe a 6 mil or something like that.
Like the chainstay length and balance, like is 460 kind of your happy spot?
Yeah, I went, you know, for a while I was like, tried to go a bit longer in the rear and a little shorter in the front, and I just found that's like great for front wheel grip in America. Like riding Windrock, it feels amazing, and I have so much front wheel grip. Like the lever is pushing on the front wheel harder. But what I found is for racing World Cup tracks, when it's really steep, there's only so long you can go before it just starts diving the front. And
yeah, it's like a weight bias thing.
Yeah,
and it's like if you're riding steep stuff, then it's like it's too forward biased.
Yeah, the lever is actually pushes too hard on the front of the bike. And then when the biggest thing for me is like I love the bike a bit longer when I'm hitting corners and things like that, or I'm pumping. But then when I'm actually trying to brake and I'm trying to get my body weight over the rear axle, once I start going 465, 470, then like the rear wheel is so far behind me, it feels like I'm pulling a trailer. And like I can't actually get my hips over
behind
the rear axle to make the rear tire to bite to brake. You want to scheme anything else up? I got all kinds here.
What are you tweaking on right now then?
Riding the new air spring from Fox, which I'm super stoked on. Feels a little softer off the top. Doesn't feel so much like an air fork, which is kind of cool. I really like progressive rebound, and playing with steering trail. Really enjoyed like a more modern steering trail. My wheelbase.
What does that mean? Shorter? Are you talking about offset?
Short offset.
Yeah.
Short stem.
Yeah.
Slack head tubing, which I'm super stoked on. It doesn't feel like I start to get in front of the axle when I'm hitting bumps in the corner. It makes the bike feel like it's a little bit out in front of me, which is really nice because I never get that feeling of like I'm tipping in when I'm hitting a corner. And I'm able to actually get my wheelbase a bit longer while shortening my reach, which has made a big difference in the bike hobby horsing, which I really enjoy.
But you're talking about shorter offset? Or short offset,
short stem,
but slack head angle.
Slack head.
And how short on the stem?
I'm on a 40 at the moment.
Oh, 40. Okay.
Yeah,
because some people are like into like some really short stuff.
There's some short ones down the way here. It's pretty cool. I mean, I think a moto's like 22, and I think we're just starting to like scratch the surface of the limitation, but you start going real slack and you start moving the bike out, and then the fork actually like starts to flex like this, and it creates a lot of harshness.
Are you like trying to match stem to offset? Or is that anything you're...
You know what, I was on about that for a while, and I think there is a bit of that until you start going... Like, I've never rode 44 crowns. I know they used to make them in the past, but I've never like rode them for like the modern race bike. And you know, I really liked like a a 45 stem with a 48 offset.
Yeah.
And I like the 50 stem with the 52. And I've kind of like broke my own theory by going shorter and the bike turning faster. And
Yeah.
like with the 48 offset, like it does still turn so fast that I've explored going a bit shorter. And I've had good luck with it because I was running a 52 crown with a 45 stem for a while, and like I went back and did the testing and I was like, bro, I was leaving a lot on the table.
By not having something shorter?
By not matching the two close.
Oh, yeah.
But besides that, the track was interesting. It just seemed pretty straightforward. Like it was just how well you could execute the given lines, and there were some line variations, but they were pretty minuscule, and it was kind of more down to just execution. Although there was one exception. The one guy who did a line that was completely out of left field was Joe Breeding. I have a clip of him gapping into my frame, but it looks like he came completely off the trail, but he did this crazy high line setup gap in the steeps in the woods. And yeah, I don't know, I was just stoked on that because I think that was a line to himself. I'll play an interview with him here, but yeah, I don't think anyone else was doing that.
There's a cheeky little high line there?
Yeah, there's one high line in the woods. I lined it up on track ball. I thought, fuck, that'd be sick if you can do that. I think I tried it the first time, it was okay. Second time I crashed on it. Put it straight back up, got it dialed, and then hit it every run since. And last run this morning, there was probably about 10 of the boys in the final watching, debating whether to do it. Their line coach saying this is faster, do it. I haven't seen anybody else do it on the live feed yet. I did commit to it in my final, but I don't know, it was sick. I love the tech, and Valdesol's full of that, so yeah, it was pretty creative, and I'm happy that I found that, and it was good.
More of it in Valdesol, see you out there.
Yeah, hopefully they can keep that tech stuff. Like it's slowly pushing out. There's not much of it left on these tracks anymore. So
Yeah, I mean, what do you make of this track in particular?
the woods used to be like fresh and loamy and line choice, and now it's just bike parky is so bedded in. So it's still a good track. Like the first 3 World Cups have been so varied, and it's cool to see that. And yeah, Valdesol will be completely different again. So yeah, can't complain. It was a sick track, and the times are super tight. So for the TV and for the fans, it's amazing.
Sweet. See you in Valdesol.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
And yeah, just one more takeaway from the weekend being trackside. It was interesting watching Asa and Jackson, because in practice, it almost appears like they're play riding. They're throwing whips, doing hucks, riding just a bit looser than everyone else, and it looks like they're having fun. I'd throw Dakota in that mix too, where he's just riding really loose and more in a playful manner. I feel like there's a bit of a separation in approach between like the Loic Bruni and Loris Vergier mentality. Like it's very structured, very focused, and not to say Asa and Jackson aren't, but I think their whole mindset and approach is completely different. And I don't really have like a conclusion on that. It was just an observation where in practice, those two were just like steezing it everywhere, and it was fun to watch. And then the Enduro got absolutely lit up with a bunch of rain the night before and the morning of the race. So I'll play some sick riding clips.
Go, 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 Jack, go! Yeah, nice.
Woo!
Nice.
Damn.
Go, 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 go!
And a win for Chelsea Malabar.
But that's about it. Definitely want to talk to the riders more about the race format and do some more bike tech stuff. I really didn't focus in on that too much this past weekend. As far as what I'm up to out here, gonna go ride in Innsbruck, then in Schladming. Got some bikes lined up to test, and it sounds like a lot of the top World Cup guys and girls are gonna be at Schladming, so I got the dad cam, and yeah, hopefully catch some quality riding. That's a mountain bike bucket list destination for me as well. Some quality riding coming up, and then we'll be back at the races in the upcoming weeks. So thanks for following along, kind of winging it, running and gunning with this media stuff. Yeah, it's cool to be in the mix and be here at the top level of the sport, just figuring things out in Euroland. So thanks for watching. If you're liking this stuff, hit me up on Patreon. Got a lot of more content over there that isn't released yet. But besides that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.